Wonder how I can incorporate a game controller. Do I need a mask? Oh, hi. I was just working on my hero costume from when I got a quirk. It's gonna take a while.
You better get back!
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Hey everybody, what is up and welcome to another anime review with the TheMKninja. And today, we're going over one of the most popular anime to come out in the last several years, My Hero Academia. It's impossible to really go anywhere in the anime community without seeing something about this. It has definitely taken the place as one of the kings of the modern shonen genre, and it's very accessible to both newcomers and old anime fans alike. And with season 3 being really popular, I thought I'd go ahead and take a look back and see how the other two seasons were and just see how far we've come in these last 2 years. Yeah, it's already been 2 years. It's pretty fucking crazy. What do you think, Deku? Well said. This is My Hero Academia Season 1. So, no more dilly-dallying. Let's get this bitch started. My Hero Academia takes place in a world where a large majority of the populace has some kind of superpower and usually incorporates this into their daily workforce, whether being a superhero or some other kind of job. But our main character, Izuku Midoriya, is one of the few who does not have a power, but his passion to be a superhero takes him to meet the biggest hero in Japan, All Might, the #1 hero, and with it, he gains a quirk of his own and attends UA High to become the next great hero. So on the surface, My Hero Academia has a kind of standard shonen plot and feels like sort of an escapism like that a lot of shonen series do generally go for, which is, oh, the main character starts off normal, so you can totally be him, but then he gets this really cool power. So that means you're cool too. And then everyone really likes him, and he's super strong and powerful and awesome and badass. But I do like how My Hero Academia takes a bit of a twist on it, and that's the fact that in season 1, Midori is kind of useless. Like, I love he is excessively powerful, but essentially he's kind of like a Magikarp. A Magikarp for Pokemon, but for one turn, his base attack stat becomes 120 and he knows Explosion. But after that, he can't do anything. And eventually he'll become a Gyarados and become super badass. But he's still a Magikarp right now, and he's probably like level 7. So we got some ways to go. I do really like that, how it shows his growth as not only a hero and character, but also just learning his powers. And that's a lot of what My Hero Academia does focus on. It's not exactly built on story or, well, to be fair, it's a shonen series, and shonen isn't really well known for story necessarily. But My Hero Academia excels at other things aside from story. So in terms of like the basic concept and plot, it's not exactly too incredible, but where it shines is with the world and the characters. And whew, these are some good characters because my boy Deku is probably, and a lot of people might hate me for saying this, but he is the best shonen protagonist I've ever seen. Like, I know a lot of people really enjoy Luffy and Goku and Naruto and other characters, and I like them too, but Midoriya goes away from the standard shonen kind of main character, even kind of main character you'll find in other anime. And he's definitely not your typical main hero of an action series because he's pretty meek. He can be a little wimpy at times. He's definitely much more of a smarter character than he is a fighter. But he incorporates that in his style, and I do really like that as he watches other heroes, he learns more. And even though he starts off weaker, he knows more because he's been watching all these techniques and everything and incorporates that in how he fights and watches his opponents and tries to figure out what to do and calculate around that. And he evolves as a character even early on in season 1. Like he's evolving as the series goes on, and it's really great to see. And that's one of the driving forces of watching the show is seeing Midoriya evolve because you learn to like him really early on. He's definitely made us this very likable character. Um, and anime is kind of like Simone from Gurren Lagann, where he starts off kind of meek, but you see these like hints of this badass nature. And Midoriya has like this. He encompasses what a good hero should be. Like he's selfless. He'll put his body on the line, and he's just a really great example of a very compelling and good main character. So when a lot of people complain about like, oh, the shonen series is usually all about the main character, but for this series, I don't totally mind because I love watching Midoriya just go through his daily life and learn more about how to handle his power and what it means to be a hero. But it's not just him. The other cast is really great too. All Might is excessively entertaining. I love how he is like he's the number one hero. He always has this smile and he's bombastic and he's inspirational and he is trying to be this symbol of hope and peace and power for everyone and hold everyone up. And he does his best to try and live to that ideal so that way people will be happy in the world. But he knows that it's basically just his job and his persona. He's gone through a lot of stuff and he's a very human character as he'll make mistakes. Even when he first meets Midori, he's like, you don't have a quirk, you can't be a superhero, kid. And he forgets where he came from. I guess I'll spoil a little bit, but since it's been 2 years, I don't think people are going to mind too much. But yeah, he started off quirkless, so I forgot where he came from. And it's also about All Might kind of learning from Deku. Like with the student and teacher thing, like usually you see like, oh, it's mostly the teacher, teaching the student and they're fulfilling their roles. But here they both kind of teach each other, and there's this really good balance between them. And I really do like that. And the other characters are also really great too. I love Ida with his exaggerated hand movements, and he's very like he's always about following the rules, and he tries to keep people in line. So he's kind of like the perfect like class rep. He fits perfectly in that role, and he's just a very eccentric, strange character. And Bakugo, I actually did like Bakugo early on. Like, I know a lot of people say like, oh, I didn't like Bakugo until later on in the series, but I did kind of like Bakugo. He is an asshole, like in the first season. Like he's definitely at his worst in the first season. I will fully admit, but it was kind of cool to see him, you know, take in stride this friend, quote unquote, that he's known for years suddenly get a power and how he deals with that. And even though it's still an asshole response, I actually did find him interesting early on. I did kind of like him. I will admit he does get better as the later seasons go on and becomes not really like this kind of cool character, but actually becomes interesting and in many ways likable and relatable. But season one Bakugo, I actually did kind of like a bit. Uraraka is also a really fun character. I love how like she's very bubbly and kind of ditzy, but she really fits her quirk. But she's kind of like an airhead. Um, but with Uraraka comes one of the problems of season one, and that's My Hero Academia is known for its characters, and definitely has a very fantastic cast of characters. But a lot of the characters that really became interesting later on. It wasn't season one that did that. In season one, there were a specific few main characters that were really interesting, and aside from that, the other characters were pretty fun and likable, but you only saw small glimpses of them. It wasn't until season 2 or 3 to where we really started seeing all these characters like Todoroki start to flesh out and become fantastic, amazing, and really just likable and interesting characters. Season 1 Todoroki is just kind of there. Like, he gets maybe 3, 4 moments at most, and one of them is very short, and the other few are at the near the end of the series of the season. So season one didn't have the best portrayal of My Hero Academia's fantastic grasp of its characters. So yeah, that was one problem with season one. But the action is still pretty great. But that's another problem with season one. Like season one still had some pretty great action. I will admit, had a lot of really great moments of like fuck yeah, and it's like you just jump out of your chair and just proclaim it. Has really great animation and production value. It's really fantastic. It looks great. The battles are really fun. Nomu versus All Might is really great. Bakugo and Midoriya is a good one. But that's kind of it. The fights, since it's a shorter season, you could say that you could equate it to that, but I would say that like there were better ways to incorporate cooler moments. And most of the cool things in My Hero Academia season one are moments. In season 2 and 3, you get more of that awesomeness, but in season one, it's not as much. Not to say that there isn't there, of course. There are still definitely great moments of these heroes and these students being really cool, and I do like that. But it's not as much, I will say. Even if you want to say like, oh, it's again, you would say, oh, it's like half a season. Season 2 and Season 3 in half of their seasons had more action than the entirety of Season 1 did. So for a shonen battle series, it is lacking a little bit on one of the star qualities of what it's supposed to be for Season 1. But the world building is still really great though. I do like how they build up this world as kind of like a first come first serve, but as the series goes on, it shows maybe that's not how the world should go. And again, I'm gonna have to say, in Season 1, it's not portrayed the best. In Season 2 and 3, it is portrayed better. I know a lot of things I'm saying is like, oh, it wasn't the best in Season 1, but I still really like Season 1. I still think it's a pretty great show. And one of the best parts is the dub is fantastic for this entire show. It's so good. It's, in my opinion, My Hero Academia actually has the best English dub out there. Like, every single voice is spot on and exactly how it needs to be. Like, I've kind of compared how the Japanese dub and the English dub sound, and spiritually, they sound very similar. So I've kept with the dub, to be fair. I'm a dub guy anyway, but it's even been so great that Season 2 and Season 3 had like the first half of their season had the same day dub as the sub, and that one shows how good the dub is, and two, shows how popular this damn show is. And then the music, everyone knows You Say Run. Oh my god, it does go with everything. It is fantastic. The opening theme, really great. It's a pretty great soundtrack for My Hero Academia overall. Like, it is pretty powerful, and it definitely fills that shonen role of, yeah, if you have good music, it'll hype people up more, and whew, it does that job. But overall, My Hero Academia Season 1, still pretty great. It's a really great introduction to the show, and I think Studio Bones is doing a fantastic job with it. And from the very beginning, they were doing a pretty damn good job too, with lots of hype moments, really great characters, great production value, some good action, good soundtrack. Overall, great show. I'm going to give My Hero Academia Season 1 an 8 out of 10. Season 2, I'll review sometime soon, probably next month or so. I don't know. Season 3 is probably, this review for that is probably not going to come out after Season 3 ends, because of the timing of all the things I have planned. So the review for Season 3 will probably, for me, will come out a lot later than everyone else's review, because I want to have time to think everything over, and I want to have these seasonal reviews done in order, because if I don't do that, then, well, I don't know. We'll see. Because I think it ends in November, and unfortunately November is Sentai month for me. Which, if you saw my Sentai month trailer, well, not trailer, but announcement, that's when I'm doing reviews for Sentai Filmworks anime that I have. Go check that video out for more information on that. And for next review, I haven't decided yet, but it will be a good one. I hope. I make no promises. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out my videos. Also, make sure to check out my supporters, all the great stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.